We've talked previously about the Mediterranean diet, and one of the reasons is that it's very clear in over a dozen studies that a Mediterranean type diet protects the brain from aging and can even reverse aspects of aging in the elderly with mild cognitive impairments. And there was a second study that I found fascinating. This one was by Anastasio et al. 2017, and it was over 1,000, actually close to 2,000 people, and there was a 10% reduction in dementia risk for people on the Mediterranean diet. Right. And so that includes olive oil in the diet, red wine, and not a lot of red meat. Yeah, what I want to get into later, and hopefully we will, is what is it in that diet chemically that can help the brain? Well, there are a number of things. I would put them into a few different buckets. That there are vitamins that can be deficient that we need to talk about the clock later. But first up, there's red wine, which has polyphenols. Resveratrol is one of those, and my lab has been working on resveratrol for many years. And that directly activates SIRT1. It makes the enzyme, it's like a Pac-Man, and it's controlling genes, and it works faster. So resveratrol from red wine has clearly been shown to be beneficial and also prevents cancer and not just has metabolic and brain enhancing effects. The other component of Mediterranean diet that works on SIRT1 is olive oil. And Doug Masanek recently showed that if you add oleic acid, which is a major component of olive oil, it's also found in avocados and other good foods like that, can also directly activate the enzyme by sticking to it and making this Pac-Man, I don't know if everyone knows what a Pac-Man is, this little puppet creature on an electronic game, chomp faster. And there's probably other molecules. We talked previously in another episode about xenohermetic molecules. Plants make these molecules to survive stress, and when we eat them, we get the benefits of that stress because our bodies worry that our food supply might run out. What's the difference between a Mediterranean diet and a high-fat carnivorous diet and a typical Western diet? They're full with calories, full with a whole bunch of stuff that tells the body times are good, it's a bounty, no need to protect ourselves. Let's just burn the candle at both ends and forget about life later. And that's not what you want. What you want to do is to have the perception of adversity. And the Mediterranean diet, as well as in Japan, what's called the Okinawan diet, which has low levels of protein and mostly plant-based, those two trick the body into thinking that the food supply sucks and could run out any minute. Right. Well, one of the first things to worry about if you're just focusing on plants only is a deficiency in folic acid. This is vitamin B12. And there are other B vitamins that are also important to make sure that you have enough of: vitamin B6 and B3. We've talked about B3 as an early component that's building up that NAD for the sirtuins. So B vitamins, especially if you're on a plant-based diet, but for everybody, don't be deficient in these. Why? Because the B vitamins are the ones that make sure you have the methyls that are added and subtracted from the DNA that controls the DNA methylation clock. If you have low levels of B12, it's known that you have deficiency in the ability to methylate DNA, and that will mess up your epigenome and very likely accelerate the clock in a way that causes aging. And there are a lot of studies that have shown that deficiencies in B12 accelerate a variety of diseases. Heart disease is the major one, but also dementia in the brain. And the main reason I think what's going on is that aging is being accelerated when you don't have enough of these B vitamins. Often your doctor, but not all the time, measures homocysteine levels because it's been shown to go up as a predictor of heart disease and dementia. And high levels are particularly dangerous. Most doctors would want you to have less than 10 micromoles per liter. Some people go as high as 100. If you're that high, you're certainly going to die in the next few years of cardiovascular events. So you try to keep the homocysteine levels down, and the best way to do that is to make sure B12 levels are optimal. Not too high, because that can also cause problems. Again, you have to measure it. I use Inside Tracker to measure my B vitamins. But also, you want to avoid too much alcohol. Definitely don't smoke. Menopause will also affect your homocysteine levels. Certain types of cancer will. And aging itself leads to increases in homocysteine.